But you couldn't possibly do 100 gigawatts of wind every year.
Right.
If you did 100 gigawatts of solar, you'd cover the whole country in solar panels. It's not possible. But you want to have a balance there, so you lead the way in renewables. You want to do as much as you possibly can in things like gas, which is cleaner. And then on your coal, coal is going to be a big part of the energy footprint here. You've got to figure out ways to do it cleaner. And there are cleaner ways.
Okay.
There is technology. We have technology which makes coal a lot cleaner.
Or is it just more expensive, the technology
It's
up
more
front?
expensive.
Yeah.
So the educational process here in China, I think, is looking at things over the longer term, not necessarily at saying, well, we need the cheapest. That's how we make decisions. You've really got to look at things over the life cycle. And so we have the technology which can help. And we're working with some great partners here to bring that into China.
GE was formed in 1892 by merger of two electric companies, Edison General and Thomson Houston. And the Edison behind the former company is none other than that of the great inventor, Thomas Edison. While most people know about his world-changing inventions, many people don't know he was also a successful entrepreneur. So with Edison as one of the company founders, GE carries on the tradition of imagination and innovation.
I read that in a recent year, GE filed for 2,500 patents in just 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's dozens a day. Are you still keeping up that capacity of innovation?
You mentioned a quote from Thomas Edison. He founded this company. His spirit lives with us. This is an infrastructure technology company. Everything we do is about innovation. And we do it globally. We believe that there should be open innovation globally. We feel that's the best way to innovate around the globe. And we try and innovate in everything we do. So it's a big part of what GE is about.
Well, I was reading your website, and I have to confess, when I read the websites of companies to prepare for these interviews, this is the first time I scoured your website and thought, I want to work there. What a great place to work. I mean, good work ethic, but also amazing words like innovation vertigo, eco-imagination, healthy imagination. I mean, are these parts of your company that encourage or perhaps even source innovation?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think innovation is everything we try to do is around how do we innovate, with our customers. A healthy imagination, for example, is about how do we make healthcare more accessible to more people around the world and more affordable, but keeping the quality up. So we have a big drive throughout our whole healthcare business globally to how do we actually make devices which are going to be more accessible, more affordable to a lot more people. So it's a big part of our investment in innovation.
It seems that there's two ways of looking at this innovation from your perspective. One is a short term, how can you use it now, but also a long term, like you said, the 30, the 50 years from now. How does that play into the innovation?
Well, it's an interesting equation because you have to get your balance right to investing in the now, right, to make sure that you can sell things now, but also making sure you set some investments, some people aside, and some really good brains so that you are taking the longer term view. And that's why when we look at R&D spend, we spend about 6% of our industrial revenue, equivalent $6 to $7 billion a year, just on R&D. It's a huge amount of money.
As the great inventor Thomas Edison, as one of GE's founders, innovation is one of the most important values for GE even to this day. And a new concept of reverse innovation also interests me.
There's an interesting concept with GE called reverse innovation. Explain that.
Yeah. Reverse innovation is something we learned to do. And I think if you kind of look back 10, 20 years, an American company, European company would make a product and then send it out to the rest of the world, and you kind of had to take it, right? Yeah. And if you're competing if your competitors are doing the same thing, that's all well and good. But the reality is different. You have these economies.
The market may be different? Or
market's different, and
consumer?
Then competition is different, right? So your competition today is going to be different than what it is in 10 years' time.
Or 20 years ago.
Or 20 years ago, right? So we felt it's important as we innovated in country. That's really what it's all about. So reverse innovation for us was, we started to, this goes back probably 7 or 8 years, we made a huge investment over the last 7 or 8 years in this. It's really understanding what the country needs and then putting our teams to work. We have 3,000 engineers here in China.